I should. I'm all good, I'm all good.
Let's bring this on over here and have a little conversation, shall we? What is going on? This is Altone, and welcome back to the channel. There's some things afoot. There's some things I have going on. I'm actually, one, of course, I'm sure you've noticed already, for you guys who have been around for a little bit, that the channel name has changed. I've even changed the channel banner because it is now AlToneRC, and rather than Creative Altone. And the reason why that change took place is because of a number of things going on. One of them is I've been doing some speed runs on my other channel, Altone Tech, and I now introduced to another company that has really got some really great products, and that's RadioLink. And so they have actually agreed to share some of their products with me so that I can share information on those, not just for air, but also for land vehicles. And I do have some land vehicle products that or projects that I would like to do. So in this video, I just really wanted to give you an update of where we are with the Flurkin, what the plans are, as well as how I plan on working out this particular channel moving forward. In case you didn't know, my two main channels is going to be AlToneRC and, of course, Altone Tech. I do have one other channel that I do put home products on, but I'm really not giving a lot of emphasis to that other than sharing stuff that we use at home. So if you do happen to find that channel and you find things that you like, then make sure you subscribe to it. But for here, essentially everything on AlToneRC is going to be related to DIY style projects and whatnot. And my intent is, because I have been bouncing around just a little bit, is to focus on essentially focus on a single project at a time. So a lot of people say, what's the purpose in telling people what you're going to do? Just do it. I like to share. If you know me, you know I like to share information. Often I share more information than what's necessary, and that's what I want to do. So when it comes to different products like the RadioLink T8S, I'm going to be doing an overview a little bit more in depth, and this is where I'm going to do most of my in-depth work. This little radio is awesome. I actually have a mobile device holder for this radio that I'm going to be talking about, or you're going to be seeing a video on this very soon. And I plan on, when it comes to some of the electronics, actually going through the manuals. And if somebody don't like to read manuals, I want to make sure that I cover as much as I possibly can in the manuals for you, so that if you don't want to, you don't have to read the manual. You can just come here and you'll be able to find the information on how to use it. Not only that, but RadioLink actually sent me out another one of their planes, which you'll see that plane. Any of the ready-to-run type stuff, for the most part, you're going to see on Altone Tech. And any of the DIY style projects, I'll be doing them here on AlToneRC. So, Flurkin. Right now, the current project is getting the Flurkin back up in the air. And as you know, I've already done some work. You see I have some plastic cards up here. I've really been trying to reinforce this wing because it was a little bit more flex in it, especially with the fact that this particular wing was completely almost ripped off. So I've done some reinforcement there. I'm planning on doing some paint, a little bit of paint here. She fell off the wall a couple of times, which damaged my verticals back here. I've actually taken a piece of barbecue skewer and glued it to the front here. And I was going to put a plastic card on either side to help strengthen this, but I don't think it needs it. That actually helped because this guy fell off the wall. And so she's pretty sturdy at this point. So the unfortunate thing is I've added weight to the rear, but that also means I'm going to have to move my battery a little forward to make sure we maintain balance when I put the battery in, and I have checked that already. We're okay for right now. I did put a nice little, because this actually got bent both sides in the back here, so I just put put a popsicle stick on either side just to reinforce this. I'm going to be painting over these things, so they shouldn't be as evident And then I put plastic card in here because those plastic cards that I had in there actually ripped off and I couldn't find them. So I went ahead and put a full plastic card on either side to add strength here. And then I have my pieces in the back here that were there. This one ripped off. I went ahead and glued it back on to give it strength. The nose is not quite meeting up the way it should. I may decide or not to try to figure out how to add a little bit of strength to that connection there. But for the most part, it's not going anywhere. It's not coming off. You have to still use force to pull it off. So it should be okay. And then, like I said, going back in here and blasting the front with some black in these different areas that's gotten damaged, throwing some gray paint over these plastic cards here and making it look like welded panels placed on here. There's a couple of things I plan on doing with this. And the other thing, the pulsation in the motors, that's something I don't quite understand, because I went back onto flight test and their ESCs are 25 amp ESCs. Now, is it possible that the quality of the ESCs that they're using versus the quality of ESCs I'm using, because I am using the same size battery, 3S batteries that they're saying to use in this particular plane, is that part of it? Is it the motors? I don't know. But I do have now two 40 amp ESCs, and I have another, someone actually commented that he's putting like 60 amp ESCs on his. So I'm going to be taking these motors out. I've already cut the I cut the zip tie on this one and pulled the wires out, and I'm going to be cutting the wire here and reconnecting the wires and reconnecting the battery connection in here for this guy and putting it back in place. And then we're going to do a test to see if this guy can handle that without the pulsation, handle the full throttle without the pulsation. If I still have problems with it, even with a 40 amp ESC, I am going to assume maybe it's a motor issue, and we'll see what happens. But these are 2207.5 2450 kV motors, which is about the same specifications as the motors that Flight Test and are using, but they're using it with a 25 amp ESC. So we're going to take a look and see how this works out with the 40 amps. If not, I've got 30 amps and 40 amps. I can use them in other applications, and we'll figure something else out. I may end up doing a full different combination with my other Flurkin that I have in there that's not built yet. One of the other things that I do plan on doing, and of course you see all of this stuff, so I'm going to give you some peeks at some things. So for air, and we're going into a build season anyway, so for air on this channel, I'm still focused on getting this Flurkin in the air and getting her flying well. I want to get a good flight. I want to check our max speed on it, which should possibly increase if I get that pulsation taken care of, from 57, I believe it is. And we should be able to land this guy safely and put him back up in the air and fly him multiple times as well. So that is one of the things I'm looking to do. I want this guy flying well. If I get this guy flying well, like I said, Radio Link, they have flight controllers. They have gyros for planes. I know I've been looking at one of the gyros that I have paired with on my Express LRS receiver from Radio Master, but I'm going to be looking at, am I going to put I'm actually going to test after this is done. My thought is to test build possibly another FT tutor and putting the Radio Link gyro in there. With that, I have a Radio Master, another Radio Master radio, just a hint, it's about this size, that I'm going to be talking about here on the channel. But Radio Link has another radio coming out, so full-size radio. And I'm looking forward to trying that guy out. And when I do, again, I want to go through the manual and share all the information for you. Now, when it comes to ground vehicles, because we are stepping out, so my intent is I want to have basically two running projects on this channel at a time. And I'm going to keep doing videos and giving updates on those until I reach with that particular project what my goal is, and then we'll move on to the next project. But try to do that monthly, new project every month, but we'll see how that works out. And in the process, I will also be sharing information and breakdowns of how I'm using some of the radios and the electronics, because this guy has a brushed ESC as well as the radio link receiver in it, and I'm going to be, which is a great combination with this radio. Excuse me, with this radio's absolutely fantastic combination. So I'll be talking about that, even talking about how I have this radio set up and why I have it set up this way. And we're going to be chasing 100 miles an hour. Now, let's talk about that for a quick second. I know this video has gotten pretty long, but hey, this is an update video, and you're going to expect to have long format content on this channel. So if you get bored, fine, go watch another video, pause where you're at. Always feel free to come back and finish watching the video. I don't mind. All right. But I wasn't planning on sharing this, but I've got a nice little treat. I was able to get my hands on the Rolaro. And I do have some, if you go to Altone Tech, I have some Rolaro vehicles at this point. Well, this is my second Rolaro. And this particular vehicle is one, if you know anything about the Rolaro AK917, there are people who have built this car out to do well over 180 miles an hour, or around about, if not more than 180 miles an hour. I'm not trying to go that fast. My current PB, personal best, when it comes to speed with an RC car is with my DRC H16E, this guy. I do plan on doing some work to it and getting it past 45, but 45 miles an hour is my personal best currently. I'm actually trying to see if I can get this guy to beat my personal best, but we'll see. But I learned a ton doing this speed run challenge. And so my intent, or as we go forward with ground vehicles, when it comes to cars, RC cars, one, I'm going to build this guy out. I'll be sharing the process. It's pretty much built. We're going to be using some radio link electronics in it. To start off with, I'll probably use the radio link ESC and a brushed motor because I have that available, but we're probably going to end up going to brushless because with this car, I'm going to be trying to get to, my goal is to get to 100 miles per hour. Maybe not with this car, but my goal is to get to my personal best on whatever vehicle at 100 miles an hour. And what that means is I'm actually going to have to find another place where I can run these cars where I have plenty of space, because where I currently run them at, I don't have the kind of space to get a vehicle to 100 miles an hour and have it come back safely. And that's what my intent is. So if I'm going 100 miles an hour, I plan on doing so without a crash at the end. Talked about a lot here. I'm trying to think, is there anything that I'm missing? I don't think so. Eventually, I will, like I said, break this back out right now. Steve WB from Team Junkyard Dog, he is beating me with this car with about a 52 to 53 mile an hour run. I want to get this guy faster than that. So I'm going to try to beat it. And now I know some tricks from this other speed run in order to be able to do that. And of course, next year, most likely, the Poor Boys RC speed run challenge, I'll be running from this channel instead of Altone Tech. We'll see how that works out, because like I said, I had a ton of fun building this car out, and I learned a lot in the process about doing upgrades and stuff to RC cars. So that's a lot of information, I know. But like I said, I wanted to really share with you what my direction is. And like I said, many people have said, don't worry about telling people what you're going to do. Just do it. Well, I don't function that way. I like to share that information, share that direction. That may be something that you're happy with. It may not be. Maybe it steps away from what it is that you're looking for here. If it does, I hope that you'll hang around and see. And hopefully I'll be able to provide you with some really good content that is entertaining as well as in some way educational, especially if you're a beginner into RC. I am growing in RC. And of course, also here I'll be working on getting better with flying RC aircraft and increasing my skills. So I'll be sharing some of that as well. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. Like I said, I hope that that's something that's interesting to you. I really appreciate you hanging out. If you're still here watching this video, you are absolutely awesome. I'm doing this for you. If you're still here, then you know that what I'm doing is actually something that I'm doing for you. So thanks so much. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos. I hope to have the Flurkin ready to go really soon. I'll be working on it. This week we're dealing with some rain, so I'll be working on getting these in there and getting that guy out to fly him. And there you go. So take care, and I look forward to seeing you again in a future video. I don't have anything else pulling power from that battery. I don't know if she's any faster. All right, she's back. I'm not running her again because I'm sure the battery's getting a little bit low. So we're gonna do a stop and read 44 miles an hour.